Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do SKT versus RNG. This is SKT is something wrong in the graphic. I've been looking forward to this game for a long time because it's going to decide a lot that is going to happen in Group C. The game is already finished, so I did everything in my power to avoid spoilers. I had to be busy this morning, so let's just find the game start time without losing all the hype. Kekona. My voice, oh, there we go. There we go. Kiana's open. Big mistake. What is the trade for Kiana here? Akali Royal Never Give Up ban. Akali has been a strong flex, but maybe it's been a bit overrated. Morgana ban. So right here it's Xayah Rakan Prio. Xayah Rakan for Kiana. Seems like a decent trade, honestly.
World Championship.
Let's play. Kiana's open. Xayah Rakan with no Morgana is really strong, but there are picks. Oh, Renekton. Renekton wins Kiana, to be fair, if you want to play it. But Kiana seems to have a lot of pop-out performances, but maybe there's some specific champions that do well into Kiana. A lot of champions with dashes can get out of her ult, and there are champions that do very well 1v1 against her. So Kiana, when she snowballs, it gets out of control. I think she's OP. Let's see if she gets through the draft. Xayah first pick, Xayah Lee Sin. Xayah we could expect, but Lee Casa we could also expect. Not a big deal. Misfortune, however. Maybe we see some Teddy Ezreal. Loving some Teddy Ezreal into Xayah Lee. Gragas. Still, I think Gragas is busted. I love Gragas. How can you go wrong with Gragas? Gragas 2v2 with Renekton. You can one-shot kids. Renekton, of course, is a flex champion. I don't like it when people pick AD junglers together with Renekton. I think it's very weak because the itemization is going to be so much worse if you're playing against Gragas and Renekton. Is that a Swain? You know, Kiana's still open in all of this. Kiana's being ignored. Kiana is being ignored, and now maybe second wave ban could be Kai'Sa and of course Ezreal. Let's see what AD Teddy will play, or AP. He has played other things. Renekton Flex stays. I'm curious to see SK Telecom second wave bans as well here, because they have Renekton Flex. Blitzcrank gets locked in. Okay. Well, now you need to consider if they're gonna ban, like Ezreal's gonna be banned for sure. And then Tristana could potentially be a ban. GP stays. Well, yesterday when they picked Blitzcrank, they didn't give a shit about their matchup. Like, they're playing against Lucian and Rakan, and they still picked Blitz. Maybe Ming just thinks Blitz is OP, so they just lock in Blitz every game. The Q range has been buffed, so could be the case. LeBlanc banned. What are they setting up for here? Ryze is out, LeBlanc banned. Mid lane champions is still, like, what do you pick in Tristana? Both teams are pretty AD heavy, but I think ideally something that I didn't mention, like Kiana's in, Syndra and Tristana is in. I think the best thing you can do is double flex those champs. Tristana and Syndra have been a part of this draft and haven't been picked. I think Tristana, like Syndra bot here and Tristana flex could be beautiful. Could be beautiful because Tristana can also go top. Just Tristana Syndra rotation from SK Telecom is going to be monstrous. If Teddy plays at bot, that's the big question mark. Probably a ranged pickup here for Langx and then last pick mid. Or if they're picking Syndra, but they don't have any flex options for Syndra here, so it's a bit worse. Morde. Okay. Alright. Syndra. Crazy that Syndra goes through the draft for so long. Syndra Tristana is such a monster rotation here. It's really, really good. Okay. Ezreal's also fine. Ezreal's good into Xayah, Ezreal's good into Blitz. We don't mind. Just what AP will SKT blind here? Oh, okay. Okay. I respect it. That's a Fnatic special. Let's see what the counter is. It's hard to predict the counter to TF because you can almost pick anything and win into TF. Well, almost anything. You can't like pick. Yeah. Okay. Zoe's the one. That wouldn't have been my guess, but Yahoo plays a lot of Zoe. Okay, taking a look at the draft. Very surprising that there's no Kiana pick, no Syndra pick, no what's it called? No Tristana pick. I think if blue is allowed to rotate Syndra Tristana, you're so set up for the game. And I think mid matchup will always be great. This one is also quite explosive. Well, explosive in the sense that TF will have windows to roam for sure. Zoe's gonna have prio. It's gonna depend on what item she loots, and the 2v2 of RNG on mid and top is very heavy. The question here is RNG. There's this meme about them playing around bottom, but in a game like this, they can't. They can't play around bottom. They need to play around the TF lane. They need to play around the Renekton lane. This game is gonna come down to the early game, super much, and then later on, I think SKT's composition is going to be easier to execute. Because they have some champions that, like Ezreal and TF, can keep distance and they're gonna poke on the range, and enemy team doesn't have a lot of engage tools. Like, both teams have very little engage tools, so it's all about who pokes more, and I think Ezreal and TF can win out on Zoe, because if Zoe ults and, like if TF keeps a card, and he can hold the card, then Zoe can't really Q when the wave collapses. Like, she can Q from a distance, but if TF has rapid fire, he can card that Zoe whenever she Qs the wave, and then they can contest like this. But this game is open for a lot of interpretation. I think what it's gonna come down to is who wins the 2v2s. So Gragas TF should lose against Zoe and Lee Sin Mordekaiser against Gragas Renekton is pretty. I think Lee and Morde can win, but the execution is much easier on SKT's side because Renekton and Gragas can much easier one-shot someone. After, when Mordekaiser is 6, it might get harder because Morde can just ult Gragas. So this is, Renekton and Gragas need to gain value early on, and then I think Lee Sin and Morde at 6 can definitely win. Because Lee can kick Renekton away, and then Morde is gonna fight the Gragas in the hole, and then maybe this is a way to play the 2v2. But Gragas is a champion that can kite Morde pretty well if he has explosive cask and E. So there's definitely room for a lot of things to happen. Blitzcrank, this is the thing that I'm curious about. Blitzcrank, will this be banned at some point? That's the question. Because Blitzcrank is super good into trash bottom. If Xayah and Blitz get to push here on bottom, it will have an impact on everything that we're talking about with TF. I think Xayah Blitzcrank should be winning. But of course, Ezreal matchups are more about... sorry, I got Windows updates. And the cat is attacking me. Ezreal matchups are all skill matchups. Like if you're a great Ezreal, you can win matchups that aren't supposed to be won. We've seen it done by Teddy. We've seen it done by a lot of people. But he's playing against Uzi and Ming. So let's take a look. Ming was playing super good yesterday. Jungle matchups I think is okay. Teddy on Ezreal. Still, Syndra not picked, Kiana not picked, and Tristana not picked. Super surprising. I think RNG, if they get prio on bottom and they can pressure into mid together with Lee and Zoe, I think it might be difficult to play TF in this game. Might be difficult. It kind of depends on who gets prio on bottom. There's a lot of moving forces here. And if Renekton and Gragas can find advantages onto Morde early on. Steak and Zephyr, two very decorated coaches, Coma not on stage. But there's Muffin. Muffin is sitting right here with me. He's twisting and turning in his sleep. Maybe he had a nightmare. Whew. Let's fast forward here a bit. Wink is really good as well. I've seen him play and he's a monster. Cleanse. RNG are looking to punish the Raptor ramp ward that a lot of teams do. Like RNG do on the opposite side. Decent starting red. Doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna pass on the bottom, because he can do red into blue and do shenanigans like this. Did seems to maybe get a leash from Renekton. Not sure. I wouldn't enjoy that. Like if Gragas is pathing into bottom, at least don't show your location. So I don't like potential Renekton leash here. Maybe SKT are favoring their chances later on. If they use Gragas to impact mid and bottom, then they can use TF to impact Morde. That's one approach to it. Anyway, I think pressuring anything in such a game is going to be impactful. I'm just curious about bottom matchup. I think it's favored for Xayah and Blitz, but of course it's a kill matchup. Teddy is on Doran's Blade, so most likely it's a losing matchup. And I'm not too sure about Effort Trash. Morde has push on top because he leashed. Gragas can be top at like 4-minute mark if they want to recover this and fight at this timing instead. Elite 3 camp. After this next camp, like Gragas red and then Raptor of Lee, it's gonna decide a lot. Ooh, huge chunk. Look at that. Q, E. Teddy lost a lot of HP there. Teddy got smacked on the noodle. We didn't know the form of Teddy yet. Teddy played Kale yesterday and it was hard to judge if he was doing good or not because I don't know too much about this champion. He did some ults that could have been better, but it was a very niche pick into Garanyumi. Karsa on the blue. And now Cleed is walking down to the golems. RNG have full control of bottom side crab. So this is something that Cleed cannot contest. Can procs Conqueror. Right now, if I'm Morde, I would be worried because Cleed could have based and gotten Predator already. He puts a ward, but this ward is not gonna save him from Predator. Teddy lost a lot of mana. It's interesting here because the E cooldown is very long on Ezreal now. The mana cost is very high, so if Blitzcrank is gonna trade his Q for Ezreal E, it's quite beneficial early on here. But obviously afterwards, when Ezreal buys mana, he's gonna have less trouble doing this. But so far, RNG's bot lane have full prio. Top crab is like bottom crab is secured. Here, Mordekaiser was respecting the Predator timing and backed off. It's nice to see RNG top laners respecting ganks. Shawal is a really good player. Khalid is gonna secure top crab. They're reading the play that Morde is going to base. It seems like they're gonna... I looked from the movement of Khalid that he's maybe wants to dive on this wave. Renekton has full rage and maybe they can create something. It depends on what Mordekaiser bought. Can trade into the bomb plating so it doesn't do too much damage. This is not diveable. There's no way they can dive this. It's too dangerous. Cloth armor, yeah. Yeah, they couldn't dive. They couldn't dive at all. Okay. Cleared on his first clear, did not do his Gromp. So this is a level 1 Gromp. Lee is doing his level 2... What's it called? His level 2 golems. RNG's bot lane is stomping. What are they doing to SKT? This is... I don't know if it's a problem with the matchup, but I'm pretty certain that... Oh! That's so unlucky. Look at that. He didn't root. I thought he would root, because look. Does this... the first feather just pass by him? Because look at this. I thought there's 3. But he gets out. Maybe the top feather didn't hit. Fake with the roam down. Mercury buy. We didn't talk too much about mid lane, but it looks even so far. I thought Zoe would have an advantage. Casa rushing level 6. It's very... This pathing is very efficient in terms of how he clears. Clears is going down now for second golems. Casa's bot side camps should spawn any moment now. Effort with the hook. BF short bottom into Sheen. This is winning for Uzi. Mordecai's items are way worse than Renekton because of his early departure. CS is relatively close, so that's positive, because usually Mordecai should lose a couple of CS when he bases like that, and Renekton slow pushes out. Curious to see what his Renekton will do with his Kindle Gem. Most likely Spirit Soji. Uzi with BF is gonna have permabot prio, so he has free reign here on bottom. TF still didn't find any action. When TF buys Mercury, he has a very small champion pool, and Destiny costs a lot of mana. So it will be hard for him to ult. You can see his mana is already low. RNG are just using the fact that they have full bottom prio, and nothing too exciting has happened to the Mord up top. Cleared the same as Casa has just played for efficiency in their clear, and nothing too exciting has happened. Red buff is up. Cleared was hovering down bottom, and they have no room to punish here. I think Cleared is wasting his time. He's playing onto the lane that is very, very weak. RNG have absolute full control over bot side. Full control. RNG's bot lane is crazy. How good are they, man? That's a catalyst buy on TF. Maybe this is an AP TF. He's going AP for the damage mix, maybe, because they have Ezreal Renekton. Okay, fireworks. Hey, Zoe is not on the map. Zoe is not on the map. TF is ulting bottom. This is why Kled is here in the bottom. Casa 6. All summoners up. Zaya has no ult to oh, now she has ult. She gets ult right at the timer. And the TP goes. Jesus. I thought Uzi is not gonna be 6 for this. He gets 6. Heal is on. Blitzcrank gets to proc his aftershock right away. Without the stun. Like the stun lands, but his aftershock is insta-procced. Boom. Aftershock is on. Ming is quite tanky because of it. TF gets one-shotted. This is a fucking disaster, man. Lang X ults. I mean TPs. Renekton TPs. Oh my goodness. Effort. Lang was a bit optimistic with his ult here. Not too good. Zoe is down bottom. Oh, Drowsy on. Oh! Oh, if Joe got out of. He's not in range to auto, I think. Oh, effort with the hook. It's a bit too greedy. Okay, we saw some greedy things here, and we saw some good things. I think Lang was a bit greedy, but to slash. Trading 1-for-1 here, Uzi I. But definitely winning situation for RNG. Oh. Okay, 1-for-1. Winning situation for RNG. The outcome is Zoe is quite fed. Zoe's gonna win onto TF for sure here in mid. The matchup in mid lane is going to be super important. Always a 2v2 mid, finding opportunities to pressure through mid and then hover into the right side so TF can't impact the side you choose. And then play safe on the other and you pressure two sides of the map. Is always good against TF. But here, even 3v4, they won the situation. Karsa being level 6, Clid wasting time on bottom, and Karsa staying very healthy after doing the Drake. Maybe SKT just thought that Karsa is going to be in base after the dragon, but Lee is one of the best champions in the game to solo Drake. Jao was not in range here to auto attack, and Uzi, after getting Renekton flash W'd, he dies here to the Gragas Barrel. So both matchups shouldn't change for RNG. RNG getting kills on Zoe is a game changer for sure. Catalyst TF, so this is not some ADTF shenanigans. Renekton is also monster fed, so here SKT, their way in is through the modder that burns his flash. They can look to dive him now, I think, with BF and full AP jungle item. Mordecai has no ult for another, I don't know how long this is, for a couple seconds. Faker taking some punishment. Jaho played a lot of Zoe in regular season. Oh, Effort is dead. Effort is so fucking dead. Jesus, RNG. No fucking mercy. RNG's bot lane, man. Whoa. What's gonna happen to Fnatic, man? What a fucking group this is. Whoa. SKT are going into bottom. They're looking to make the defensive play, but I think this defensive play is non-existent. If RNG just continue the siege, continue the onslaught, only thing that can save them is TF, but Zoe's gonna just push mid, hover into bottom every time, and I think RNG are winning. Khan is sure, he's gonna push top, but it's not gonna be meaningful at all. It doesn't mean anything that Khan pushes top here because SKT are not really using it. There's no trade. TF is pushing mid now. Faker is pushing mid. Raw is finished. Maybe what Faker could do here is look for a dive on top because Morty use ult again. Maybe if he dives top, there is something to accomplish here because Zoe committed so far into bottom. Now TF goes into bottom. Now this is strange. So Lee here gets spotted. Kasa gets spotted. And Zoe is in base. And Zaya and Blitzcrank are not backing off. Clid just waited so long patiently for this timer, and now... Whoa. Oh, Ming. Oh, okay. I think this is a blunder here from RNG. They need to wait in fog. Karsa can't show. He can't show before RNG pushed bottom. This pink ward is a game winner right here. TF pushes into mid to get a big tempo swing here onto Zoe. RNG just wants to push this wave and back off. But now, this is one wave too many. And Lee Sin showing onto mid lane. Clid finally commits and the weight of Clid pays off. But here they know Clid's position. They know everyone's position. This is just RNG's greed showing through here. But definitely they should secure this push on this wave together. Zoe bases in fog here. Kasa is the one showing, so they are willing to pull the trigger on this wave. So Clid's patience pays off, but they knew Clid's position. This is a mistake from RNG for sure. If it wasn't for this mistake, then the game would be quite tough. This is quite a recovery from SK Telecom. They punished that both times they ulted was instantly when someone showed at the wrong place. First time it worked in RNG's favor, and you could argue that Morta didn't need to flash, Uzi didn't need to die, and it would have been better, but all good still. Essence Ryu finished now, and Luzen's Echo finished. This is a very strong RNG. No item spike on Ezreal yet, so ideally he doesn't want to fight here. But Ezreal is always strong. Like Ezreal, if he lands his Q with Sheen, does a lot of damage. RNG have a lot of tools to pick people off though. As we spoke about earlier, SKT don't have a lot of ways to engage. They have to rely on poke, and this is a TF that's not gonna buy a rapid fire anytime soon. Blitzcrank gets slept. Look at the sleep. Free Blitzcrank hook, boom. They cracked his neck. This is a difficult position to enter here for SK Telecom. Renekton did roam down mid, so this is giving them some presence. Zaya's pushing, Zoe's in position. This is very well played from RNG. They're not greeding for anything, they managed to defend all, and they managed to get top wave pushed and also bottom tower destroyed. First tower for Uzi, and he's gonna be monster fed now. Uzi is gonna push one more. I think it's sweaty to push one more. He goes for it. Fuck it. Fake pressuring here, Uzi. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Xiaohu. This is dead faker. Oh, oh, oh. Holy shit. I didn't see the stopwatch. My bad. Holy. Both games now, Xiaohu that he played, he has solo kill, but then it gets fucked up by something. A lot of people saying Xiaohu doesn't deserve to be in the top 20. It's, they're sleeping on Xiaohu, man. This death. Free Herald. I want to take a look at the movement here from SK Telecom right before this. Actually, Gragas was already on Herald. He was already on Herald. Since Uzi committed into bottom push and RNG pushed to Drake, he was already on Herald. But this delay on the Herald is going to make sure that they can't get any platings from it. Well, it's kind of a big deal. In some ways, Yahoo saved them some gold as well. Always when you play against TF, you need to make sure that the person facing the TF is always stronger than the TF. Because if TF gets prio, it's too hard to play the game. You need to make sure that your guy is stronger than their guy. And Yahoo got 2 kills. I don't know how much is going to change now. The TF should still lose against Zoe, I believe. They're playing 1-2-2. Top lane seems to be the most useless role ever. Speed of Sojin, it's a bit annoying to play against Lee as Renekton, because you get kicked when your Sojin procs. Faker survives. That sucks, man. And Yahoo dies. I think at this point, isolate Morda still. He has TP on. Play 1-2-2. Zoe Lee push bottom together. Zoe rotate into mid and then siege mid. I think it's the best way to play. Looks like Teddy is going for some of that Trinity Force action. The painful part about playing Ezreal into Xayah and Xayah being ahead is Ezreal has this 2-item power spike where she can be where he's considerably stronger than Xayah, but if Xayah is ahead, then of course this 2 items power spike will get matched by 3 and it won't matter as much. Here after that first initial rotation from pushing with Zoe and Lee bottom into mid, they took full vision, and then Xayah was pressuring here by herself. RNG are just using fog, and it's super nice to see. And RNG look like a fucking beast in this game. They lost to an FPX, but losing to FPX doesn't correlate to losing to a lot of other teams, honestly. Fake is dead. His neck is broken, and they have 2 Infernals now on RNG. RNG are in a heavy winning position. And people counted, I counted RNG out. It was such a hard group to predict though. I'm gonna give myself that. It's a very nice RNG draft. Oh. So this is the second time Uzi is giving the enemy something when they take something else. The question here is if it's correct from RNG to commit completely onto bottom tower, because they're trading here the bottom tower for mid tower. If they kill TF and then hover into Fog, then they can definitely defend mids, but here Uzi is left all alone. There's an E-flash of Klid. You need to preemptively ult this with Xayah, and I think this trade is not that great. Kill the TF, deny the CS, rotate into mid, hide and Fog, and then you can solve this entire situation. Uzi more deaths in this game than this entire summer split. No, I'm just kidding, but it's definitely bad to die here. But I think also RNG's macro decision there was worse. This matchup is interesting here for Morda because he can proc his Conqueror way faster than Renekton. Herald on bot. It's just my Herald is running out. Herald. Ezreal's approaching his 2-item power spike. The fact that Xayah bought QSS and now died and Ezreal got some assists. The 2-item power spike is going to be way more relevant. Let's see if Ezreal can reach his Trinity Force before this Drake spawns, or if TF can reach his Lich Bane before the Drake spawns. But right now, SKT are not that weak in comparison to before. Xayah is stuck on some uninteresting items. Luden's Echo didn't. There's no new power spike here from Zhao ever since he died on mid lane. Drowsy is on. Zhao. Oh, Zhao is poking. Both teams here don't have a lot of engage tools. The engage tool here is going to be Twisted Fate ult or like a hook that lands or Gragas. But Gragas has no flash. And there's a QSS and cleanse already on Zoe and Xayah. So this is going to be a poke battle. Luden's Echo, Zoe versus Ezreal, who can hit more. After solo HP, after that bazooka hit his head. Lich Bane finished on TF, so he has some power spikes. If SKT can reach a target, they can definitely one-shot it. They have a lot of CC to chain together. But can they reach it? That's the big question mark here. TF ult is on. Hook misses. Klid gets ulted by Lang. Let's see Mordekaiser versus Gragas interaction if he gets just kited. Faker finds a position. Faker finds a very good position. QSS gets used. Klid dies. So Klid apparently dies to Gragas. But this is a Gragas without Explosive Cask. Explosive Cask gets used in the other realm. So Explosive Cask gets thrown and Morde ults him at the same time. So this is a Klid without Explosive Cask. Lang is finding ways to chase him. And then he kills him. Let's pay attention to the rest of the fight. The fight starts and then TF ults behind. For some reason you don't see the animation. I didn't see the animation here. It just kind of shows up. He hits, he hits, he hits. And this is a really insane position for Faker, because he's tanky enough to not die to a single target, and RNG already use all of their spells. Ideally you want to turn on a TF that does this, but everything has been used already, so the timing of Faker here is really, really good. Like here, all the spells have been used. There's no Zoe spells, there's no Blitzcrank Hook, and Zaya's not going to be able to win against the TF 1v1 here. The TF Rod of Ages Lich Bane is very strong here as a 1v1 champion. So here, Khan gets in, flash on Xiaohu, cleanse, Khan dies. So this Renekton is going to be difficult to maneuver, because as a side effect of all the cleanses and QSSs that are going to be bought, it's also impactful against Renekton that wants to chain and punch and commit on his own. This was a Renekton that was very powerful, and he managed to die. Oh my goodness. Jesus. What a fucking back and forth, man. Here it looked like RNG are on the losing end, because it looks like SKT can just poke them and kite them. But here, Uziah gets so much done, and Xiaohu lands his fucking spell. Karsa, can you hit the Q? I believe in you. Us. Holy. SKT secured the Drake though. Very important. We go back. Klid steals it away. Klid steals it away. Morde ults him. Kragas ult is in the Nether Realm. Xiaohu misses his EQ here. No spells for TF. TF is in a good position. Xiaohu repositions very well here. He recognizes, it's very difficult to recognize where the space is for you. This is the space for you, because Klid's gonna be zoned out, and they kite away. Ezreal's in position here. Efforts is kind of chilling alone in the box. I wonder if Karsa's trolling here with the kick, because he's delivering Renekton into his team. And Renekton, even though he dies, he manages to do a lot of damage here. Like the Q hits and does a shit ton of damage. So I would argue against this kick here from Renekton, kicking Renekton in. I think kicking Renekton out is a safer approach. And then this ends where RNG have a winning situation, but SKT get away with stealing the Infernal. 2 Infernals to 1. It's a very big deal SKT get this Infernal, because if it wasn't the case, you would imagine 3 Infernals go next. Faker finds a very good position, but I want to go back and look at Teddy again. Because here, Teddy position is very bad. Teddy position is horrible. He doesn't accomplish anything here. He missed every Q so far. Yeah, Teddy missed every Q here. Teddy played pretty bad. And then to judge the position. So Faker wants to base to get Lich Bane. Ezreal is in mid catching a wave. So here already SKT lost the position. Ezreal needed to give up this mid wave if he wanted to be in position. But now Ezreal is so freaking late. Ezreal just did nothing. Ezreal's position was very bad before the start. Ezreal did nothing, and then on top of that, like Renekton got kicked into the team and did way more damage than he should usually be able to do. So I think Karsa could kill here if he Qs the creep and then goes. Interesting. Teddy Ezreal doing nothing. A phrase I thought I would never say. Clear timing on the smite. It's really beautiful. But look at Teddy. Look at Teddy. Look at Teddy, man. And then the kick on Renekton, I think, is not good. Like, Renekton manages to chunk everyone to 1 HP. And this was... SKT was in position to steal, but not in a position to fight, honestly. He's trying to find his buddies. Holy, look how calm and collected he is. Fucking ProView makes me more nervous than playing myself. It's weird. That perspective is odd. Zaya now approaching, 3 items. Ezreal didn't finish Trinity Force yet at 20 minutes. It's rough. Very rough. Morello finished. Not finished, but Morello on its way to being finished. As people like to meme about the Morello comment, it's Ellis is right on this. Morello non-con is not that cost efficient. Unless you can use the grievous wounds. Here usually like if like the items that Clid is buying are correct. It's good. Finish Codex is much better than Blasting Wand or finishing Morello. Already there. Because you build towards the next item and Morello is very uninteresting. Because the stats are just not worth it. Okay, 1Q, Teddy, warming up, level 12. 2 items now, Muramana, Power Spike. Teddy is very strong. He's getting that QSS to counteract some bubbles and Mordekaiser ult, of course. Also, MR is not a bad stat. Holy. So the position of Khan and Klid is quite good. Klid can do some monstrous E ults here onto the whole RNG squad and cause havoc. RNG didn't really cover their flanks here, so this looks like a potential good fight for SK Telecom. Boom! Ho ho! Oh, golly! That is monstrous. Khan? Oh, Khan, Shaka Khan. That is crazy, man. RNG being so greedy here with the way they're walking up. They have no cover at all from any side. Their side lanes are completely in bad position. So here, after you got to prio, you just walk away, step into top side, fix the top wave, let Lang go into bottom. There's no reason to run up here and siege. Very bad. Because if we look at the vision of RNG, they just have too many blind spots. And we could see this clearly as they were walking in here. RNG making some blunders, playing quite disrespectfully. Quite disrespectfully. And this is an Ash for SK Telecom. SKT with the superior teamfight presence here, they are looking always to punish. Even though in a lot of cases in this game, SK Telecom looked like the weaker team, they found windows to punish. We saw the ult on bottom when Castle was showing on the pink ward. We also saw the opportunity here that they set up with the team fight. The team fight around the Drake was very poor, but they did manage to steal it. So a 2 for 4 in kills, but getting the Infernal, maybe you could consider these as some of your best odds. And bam, Teddy with 2 items. Ezreal Power Spike is monstrous. This is a game changer. Definitely a game changer. Now RNG need to stall out. We have to see how the siege looks like for Twisted Fates and Ezreal. But of course, SKT have options to play a 1-3-1 and can be fairly safe doing it. And I think they're gonna minimum break all outer towers with this Baron and put them ahead on gold. RNG very cocky. They're playing very good, and winning out on the parts that I would consider be harder to execute on in terms of how the game is played. But oh, sorry, I realize every time that the video is not cut so well. My bad. Okay. RNG have some decent wave clear, that's for sure. Zoe and of course Zaya. But I still believe in the notion that SKT should be able to break some auto towers here. Not inhib. Inhib is too difficult, I think it's too early. They need to find some kills to break inhibitors. What's up? Okay. I'll come later, man. You wanna come up here again? Come. Come up here. Come, Muffin. Okay. You don't want to? Then you don't need to. Alright, SKT 131. YamatoCannon finished on Jahu. Scaling because of 2 Infernals, I would say it favors RNG. Effort, you are a lantern bot for Teddy, did nothing else. It is just where is he walking? Where is he walking? This is craziness. Hey buddy, hey. Effort running it down a bit, delaying the pressure of SK Telecom here big time. Ult on. Ming, ooh, Ming gets clapper rude, but Fake is gonna die for it. Fake a flash for this. That's a very good situation for RNG. Don't know why SKT felt the need to recover this situation. The situation was definitely lost by what Effort did, and then they forced onto mid, and it's just too much. RNG now with a lot of unforced errors, and honestly, I think the winner of this is just G2. This is not. It's a great game where teams are punishing hard and well, but it's very messy. It's very messy. People like to talk about how messy the Fnatic G2 series was, but this is an absolute mess too. Teams throwing away their advantages big time at 2 separate occasions. Now the gold is dead even, but RNG successfully defended a Nashor, and this is going to bridge the gap for Uzi, where he's going to buy his Infinity Edge, and he's going to be stronger than Ezreal from this point and onward. Effort dies. This we spoke about, he just went too deep to ward. Like, putting this ward is just the greediest shit I've ever seen. Way too greedy. It's not the greatest shit I've ever seen. And then this is just desperation. Reeks of desperation. Zoe's not in position. They know that because of the destiny, but neither is Renekton, and they are outnumbered here. The fact that Ming manages to get his hook off right before his death is huge. The flash of Faker is not good enough because he still gets rooted, and then Karsa breaks his neck with a kickaroo. Lang gets the flash ult. Klid is in a rough position. This fucking orbs look so weird for Zoe passive. And then Lang survives here. Conqueror, OP guys. And then Teddy also, Teddy Fresh dies. Teddy Fresh. Okay. And now it's going to be a question of who sets up the Nash better. I think RNG is in a position where they should get mid-prio if the group is 4. 1-4 should be stronger for RNG. Khan still has TP, so let's see if he can maybe take bottom tower off of this. Maybe they can set up a kill onto Morde. TF and Renekton can go into bottom. SKT have a lot of tools that they can use to pressure onto Morde, and RNG is on a timer where they need to pressure Nash, which might be difficult sometimes against the TF and an Ezreal, because TF can always spot you, Gragas can always poke, and Ezreal can always poke at the Nasher pit. And RNG don't have the best tools in the game to turn. So here, if SKT manage to get a kill on Morde, or they manage to stall this Nasher, it might be a difficult game for RNG to play. Because here, RNG can't really respond to this. TF and Renekton both have a global, and okay, they tried to respond to this. Kick happens, but whole SKT is here, ready to go. Barrel lands. OZI with the QSS. RNG no response. They had to rotate defensively into bottom, but SK Telecom could potentially pressure on Asher, get a mountain. This is a good scenario for them, because something that SKT has done better is their management of side waves. Their XP differential is much better, and Xiaohu has been grouping on mid a lot more frequently with TF. But to Xiaohu's credit is, of course, he's playing against TF, so TF can be in multiple locations at once, and Xiaohu has been forced to give up. But it's just about the stylistic difference of the teams here, is that SKT were playing the 1-3-1 most of the time, and were pushing the waves before the fights commenced, and RNG were forced to group 4 on mid, where they want to siege and use their champions to create space for UZI. UZI now 4 items and a half. RNG just needs to force as soon as possible, because otherwise that play that we just saw is going to happen again. TF and Renekton on side. Even now, TF, you could potentially say that he can do some shenanigans where he TPs on bot and just pushes with his Lich Bane death cap. This is a very strong Twisted Fate. They go, Khan hits the W. Card goes. Maybe if Morde gets his ult off before this card goes, then he can survive, because this Lich Bane proc does a lot of damage. Like, this fucking TF hurts. Really hurts. SKT can continue, same play, they can continue to pressure onto bottom, and RNG have very little response. TF is going into top. Xiao is gonna catch because TF is on top wave. That's completely fine. Let's see. I don't like that SKT don't continue doing the same play onto bottom. I think they can almost force bottom in him for free. I think SKT have enough strength to pressure Nash as potentially 3. And RNG would have to always keep in the back of their mind that SKT can force on bottom tower. But they are looking for the fight. TF ulted onto Zoe. Zoe has no cleanse. Insane, actually. The ult happens. Flash hit. No cleanse on Zoe. She gets fucking clapped. Khan is fighting in the back line. UZI is not in position, or he is in position. I want to say not in position to hit Khan, but he walked up here and they managed to... UZI is doing a shit ton of damage. Look at him go. Oh my goodness, this looked so good for SK Telecom. But then it just didn't. What the fuck? Jesus, UZI, man. UZI wants to win worlds, look at him. So this looked so good. I thought they just instantly had a pick here and they would go. But here... Teddy is just getting outmatched. Because here is the play that they just commit. Because look, here he can press Lantern as well. But maybe he gets kicked in the animation. Maybe it doesn't have time to press Lantern. Because looking at this fight, Teddy, should he just E over? Maybe he should just fucking E over and fight together with Klid and Faker. But here, of course, Klid and Faker did use all of their tools, and of course, here Xayah can hit for free. Karsa plays this fucking beautifully. He finds the kick in such a tight area and kicks TF. Look at this. Look, there's no space almost. Faker's hugging the wall. And Karsa finds the kick. And then they go and they kill 2. And then Khan is not doing enough to kill the Morda. Blitzcrank is alive. Jahu died in a fight that looked like... It honestly looked like SKT is going to win this fight. But something that we didn't mention, or I did mention before, was the Xayah 4 items against Ezreal. With these items, Xayah completely out DPSs him, and I think the play where SKT forced on bottom was still the most optimal play. SKT can stall Nash very well, and they can pressure onto bottom. But here, RNG played in a way where they need to force Nash. They need to be the ones forcing Nash, or SKT were the ones forcing on them. They found the kill onto Jahu, which looked good. Honestly, it fooled me. But Uzi is just too strong. He's just too strong. And then Teddy, I don't know if he could potentially E in there and hit Lee while TF is getting smacked. But maybe it wouldn't make a difference. And here is just, I think the problem is that SKT are just forcing. SKT Faker flashes over the Blitzcrank hook. Like here, if maybe Ming times it better, maybe he could be screwed. Nevertheless, here Khan is on the back line. He W's the Blitz. Effort does absolutely nothing. Effort dies. Why is Effort playing Thresh? I don't like Effort on Thresh. Just put Korean support on Alistar, please. Alistar and Rakan. Okay, so now RNG with the Nash instead of SK Telecom. SK Telecom still need to play on split. They have the tools to play on split. Faker has ult, Faker has CP, Rengar has CP. They need to play on split. They need to recognize this way earlier, because I think just the fact that they took that fight, being in that mindset, is a blunder. But I think they just thought that they could one-shot Zoe and then continue. RNG just brute forcing. Teddy is not doing enough to clear the wave. TF is on top. TF is one-shotting this wave, doing a lot of damage to turrets with Lich Bane build. I don't like the item choice here. I think you should still go Void Staff last. It just does way more in terms of penetration at this point of the game, because people get them up a level. So don't go Orb. Don't go Orb last. I don't like it. I think it's a mistake. Mountain is spawning. SKT, the dream fight they found was when Gragas got an insane barrel, but this was because RNG didn't protect their blind spots. But here they are very well aware of SKT's position, and they're not going to repeat the same mistake. More the zone to bottom. I think SK Telecom need to recognize they need to just fucking force on sides over and over. That's what their composition is about, because SK Telecom is kind of outscaled in team fights at this point. Mountain is falling. The RNG onslaught is going to continue on the top. Bottom for 1 more minute. They should be able to secure an inhib. SKT don't want to fight. They want to split, and they want to maybe kill Morda here. Maybe get bottom inhib as a trade-off. I wonder if Faker could have used his TP at some point in this game to just do something and keep Destiny to do something else. Maybe if Gragas ults the wave that's coming after this, they can keep the inhibitor alive, which is going to be very important. Klid is trying to find an angle, but gets spotted. He's onto his pink ward. Look at Klid, man. Look at Klid. Magic Klid. He is indeed on a spot here where he's not been seen. but it doesn't matter too much. They managed to defend their inhib, which is the most important part of this. Only one inhib falls for RNG, and this is not a difference maker. The super creeps in mid lane are going to be cleared very easily by anyone who steps. Ninja Tabi buy on Ezreal. Okay, Lang. Lang has one job here, it's not to die, and he's standing on a ping doing Gromp. So this is an obvious mistake. But SKT recognizing this is the way they need to play, they need to find kills on side. The fact that they forced was a very big mistake. So we continue. As you can see, just play on split, please. Play on split. There's nothing else for you. Play on split. OZI full items. Morello on Twisted Fate. Don't like. Get the Void Staff. Void Staff is much better. Much better at this point. Mord is buying what with his Giants build? No idea. Lang got ulted on bottom. SKT continue with their bottom pressure. Maybe Rapid Fire is just the best item here for instead of Morello. Just get Rapid Fire. Get that card distance. TF should stay bottom. Oh, good play here from SKT. Can Karsa steal? I don't know. Oh. Can almost 1v3. Karsa no steal. Now this is what should have happened before for SK Telecom. Just create a situation which is very difficult for RNG to deal with. Pressure on bottom so much that they need to make a judgment call. And there's a lot of situations where that judgment call is going to be wrong. Here, bottom inhib is bound to fall. I think they should just be ready to give up bottom inhib, pressure at Nasher, and look to turn with a blitz hook. They just need to find a situation where they can force 5v5s. Right now, this next Elder Dragon, if whoever gets it probably wins the game, honestly. Well, to be fair, if SKT get it, they win the game. If RNG get it, they stall out the Nash. So let's make that clear. Glid stole a Drake before. Let's see if it continues. 2 Infernals popping off now. Uzi hitting. Hook doesn't land. Banshee. Oh, this was sweaty as fuck, man. This fight is not one that SKT want to take. Khan has not spawned yet. Lang is in. Okay. So this nullifies the Nasher. The time of both is very similar. Faker is looking to clear as much of the waves as possible, and also without Nash sieging against TF is non-existent. It's not possible. Not possible. There's no ending capabilities here, even Klid is dead. They're walking on to the inhib. Luckily the tower is dead, right, so they don't need to siege. This is a crazy looking Zoe skin, by the way. So the game continues. We're gonna have like a bit of a lull phase here before the next objective spawns. SKT still need to fish for the same play where they find a kill on side, but now there's no punishment for RNG to defend it. So right now I don't expect much to happen. The next thing, the next action is going to be, of course, the next Baron spawn. Elder spawn timer is longer than Baron. Or maybe it's the same. Because Baron got killed earlier. I think Baron lasts 1 minute longer and they respawn the same, 6 minutes. Oh, what am I saying? It felt very long what I said. Respawn 7. Elder Dragon. Elder Dragon. Great. Well, dragons is just the same. I guess it's 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes and then 7 minutes Baron. Someone tell me. I know I'm fucking. For some reason, it's completely blank in my mind. So now RNG, they shouldn't siege. Honestly, they shouldn't siege. I don't like this too much. Even if they get these inhibitors are so weak. Honestly, like the super creeps are so weak, and RNG should have just used their time to defend, and then make sure that they're in position for Nash. Teddy is walking up like a maniac. Look at how fast Faker pushes. He pushes faster than whole RNG against War. Wave clear is just too powerful in this game. Oh, they're looking for end? They're looking for end? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh man, oh man, oh. Jesus. Wow. So I was saying, you know, RNG shouldn't be pushing, they should just be defending, because it's hard to break the wave clear of Ezreal. Because I imagine TF is gonna get an inhib before RNG does, but they took the whole base. They took the whole base. Oh man. Wow. Holy shit. Wow. What a fucking game, man. Jesus. A lot of things to digest here. Because looking back at some of the problems in this game was RNG looked much stronger in lane phase. They looked well, lane phase, by lane phase I mean bottom. SKT looked quite inactive in the early game. Both junglers were clearing very safely just to make sure that they don't fall behind. They were clearing for efficiency. RNG got lucky with the Infernal Drake spawns, and the dragon fight was just terrible from SKT. There was a dragon fight that was terrible where they were looking to contest it, but Ezreal was not in position. He did nothing in this fight. And Kalsa kicked Renekton into his team. That was the only reason it looked close. Then right after, RNG didn't cover their flanks. They walked up mid lane to siege when there was a lot of CS to take on side. That was a big mistake as well, because Klit got a monster Gragas ult that we could see from miles away. And off of this, of course, SKT took Nash. And with this Nasher, what happened after the Nasher? I'm trying to remember. This is where they ult on Zoe. So they ult on Zoe and Uzi. Oh, wait. This is where Effort trolls. Oh, this is the fight where Effort trolls and then TF dies. And then SKT pretty much gets aced. So this is Effort trolling. And then here, because already now, still 1-3-1, not forcing anything, SKT should have played this way. If RNG get the 5v5 team fight, it's just perfect. And then the next one that happened was the commitment on Zozo. And here, Morde should have been the target. Morde should have always been the target. Always been the target. And then here we had this fight where Zoe gets clapped, but Ezreal is just too weak, and Xayah just wants to 5v5. Xayah wants to 5v5 at all costs, and this is a problem. Lucky here for SKT that there's no wave, because this could have been the game-ending push. But there's no wave, and they get only Nash. And then with that Nash, they ran it down mid lane, they took an inhib, and then nothing else happened. And then SKT just played on split. Then we had the final push. RNG just needed to defend. There's no reason to push like this. TF is pushing into your base. They needed to defend. And they need to just set up Nasher. But it's difficult to play against TF with all these items at this point in the game. Phenomenal landing from SKT. Great game. But honestly, I think G2 is the biggest winner of this. Because looking at these two teams, you have two top contenders for the World Championship belt. And a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes from both sides. And I think it goes to show that as you play this more fast-paced gameplay, there's a lot of room for mistakes for both teams. And I think it was about recognizing your win conditions here for SK Telecom and not paying the price for it. They took some time before they recognized they need to play on split, and when they did, RNG didn't recognize at all that this is what SKT is doing, and they managed to die and lose their nexus. So phenomenal game. I think that summarizes it. SKT end the game. Beautiful gameplay. Let's continue with the rest of the coverage of the World Championship here on our YouTube channel. I'll catch you guys on the next game.